Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is really breaking down the new trailer for season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So, with that, let's dive right on in. So, in case you didn't see the trailer, you can watch it on YouTube, on Bravo.com. I wish I could play it for you, but they probably would knock me for copyright. So let's talk about what happened, and then I will give my predictions on what I think it means for the upcoming season. So this is from Reality Blur. It says Kyle Richards is facing claims of a texting relationship with Paul PK Kimsley amid his separation from her one-time bestie Dorit Kimsley in the just released trailer of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. As Kathy Hilton, 65, returns, and Bozoma St. John, 47, and Jennifer Tilly, 66, are added to the cast, Kyle, who is 55, continues to be at odds with Dorit, who is 48, as she navigates her own separation from Marisky Humansky, who is 54, while being met with drama from a number of her co-stars, including Sutton Strack, who's 53, who also butt heads with Erika Jane, who is also 53. Now, let's just break that down a bit. Number one, the reason why I think PK is texting Kyle is because I think they are trying to compare notes to see if Mauricio and Dorit actually had a sexual affair. Now, we all know the rumors going around that Mauricio and Dorit allegedly had an affair. This has not been verified. What I think happened now is I don't think they had a full blown affair, but I do think that Dorit was sexually attracted to Mauricio. And I think that Mauricio is a flirt. I think that sometimes he doesn't realize what's going on. We all know he likes to, you know, whatever and be kind of, high and hoopty doopty. Again, he's done it on the show. They've talked about on the show. So this is everything they've put out there. I think that's really the crux of it. Now, if they crossed a line and actually had sex or actually hooked up, that would be something completely different. I think that PK is trying to get intel from Kyle. One, I think he's trying to make Dorit jealous and pissed off. And two, I think he's trying to figure out, let's get together, let's get our intel and see if our spouses really did have an affair. That's what I think is really going on with Kyle and PK talking. And of course, Kyle's going to want to talk to PK. She wants to know, Dorit, did you smash my husband? Did you have an affair behind my back? Which is why we see them going at it. And to be honest with you, I'm not Kyle's biggest fan, but in this situation, I'm team Kyle because how much would it suck to have the world think that your best friend was having an affair with your husband? And then now you and your husband are about to divorce, and now she and her husband are about to divorce. What's really good? What's going on? Now, this is also a prime example of don't be friends with someone who doesn't like you. Dorit doesn't like Kyle. She never did. In my opinion, Dorit was only friends with Kyle because she wanted to use Kyle as cover to make sure she had a spot on the show. As we know, Kyle likes to play producer, be producer on the show. She has a lot of power, maybe had a lot of power. We'll see if that dynamic changes going forward. But I think Dorit became an ally of Kyle to make sure she had an ally on the show and a spot on the show, but she never really liked her. Which is why she was so brazen with how she would look at Mauricio and flirt with Mauricio and touch him and smell him, blatantly being disrespectful, and all of that going over Kyle's head because she thinks Dorit is her friend. No, Kyle, Dorit is not your friend. She never liked you, boo boo. I know Lisa Rinna is not on the show, but my gut is saying that Lisa Rinna is playing both sides because she's a snake and she's bitter and she's evil. I think that Lisa Rinna behind the scenes, because again, she's not on the show, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't still talk to the girls. I think Lisa Rinna is feeding things to Kyle. This is what Dorit said about you. This is what she's saying about you. Like when they had their big falling out last year, right at the reunion, and Kyle was like, I heard you said all this stuff about me, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that came from Lisa Rinna. Who else would that come from? And then on the flip side, I think Lisa Rinna is in Dorit's ear. Kyle thinks she's the show, but like you're cooler than her, or blah, 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 blah. I think she's playing both sides because she's evil and she's bitter and she's mad that she got fired. And that's just who she is. I think that is what's going on. I think that they were never friends. And I think Kyle is trying to figure out, did Dorit have sex with my husband? And I think that Dorit, I don't think they did. Time will tell if that comes out. But I do think that Dorit wanted to the point where she was blatantly touching him and smelling him and all of that stuff. So that's a deeper level of disrespect. And I think that is what will play out this season. Did Dorit do it or didn't she? That will be the core fight that they have going on. Okay. And I'm also team PK on this. Like, you're out here disrespecting your husband, smelling and touching and doing googly eyes at his best friend, almost business partner, Mauricio. So I get why PK is checking you, and I get why PK is texting Kyle. Turnabout is fair play. Doesn't feel good, does it? Okay. Friendships are not perfect. There are many ups and downs, twists and turns, Sutton states, as the sneak peek begins and the ladies join their palms together during an apparent ribbon ceremony. We are now sisters forever. But it isn't quite that easy. I really hope this ribbon does what Sutton is intending it for it to do, and if not, I can save it in a case. I can save it in case I need to strangle one of these ladies, Dorit admits in a confessional. Dorit, shut up. Like, stop. You are a grifter. You and your husband are fraudsters, in my opinion. Like, stop acting like you're so cool and you're this and you're that and you're third. Now, you might get brownie points just by default because we don't like Kyle that way. Not that we like, because of how she is, but to be honest with you, in this situation, I'm on Kyle's side. I don't want to have to deal with the world thinking my best friend is sleeping with my husband. Nobody, please. I am not going to bow down at the altar of Kyle Richards, Sutton tells Garcelle Bouvet, seemingly adding that the women don't need Kyle to make this group exist. Meanwhile, Dorit tells Kyle, you think I'm some effing idiot? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Can you let me talk? Kyle later asked Dorit. It's okay, Kyle, Dorit fires back. It's time for you to effing listen. During another tense moment, Kyle yells at Dorit, wanting to know, what more do you effing want from me? I want you to stop effing making those faces at me, Dorit screams back, leaning toward her castmate during a group dinner. While it's unclear what sparked the woman's screaming match, I think we figured it out. Garcelle later reveals some shocking information to Sutton. Kyle told me PK texted her, she states. Garcelle also appears to comment on Mauricio's loved-up photos with rumored girlfriend Nikita Khan, who is just 33 years old. It sucks to see photos of your ex making out with some child, she states. Okay. Now, this is the thing. I think that it will also be the Kyle takedown season. We are seeing this across the board with reality television shows in general, where the wannabe HBIC, who's also a producer plant, like the Giselles of the world, right? Of the Bryns of the world. They're being taken down because we don't want to see that. And the castmates don't want it either. They want things to happen organically and authentically without people thinking that they're in charge, or they have to plant stories, or they have to meddle and create different narratives. And I think that everybody, the audience, producers, and clearly our castmates are frustrated with Kyle and they're kind of over it. So I do think that this will be the takedown season. My prediction is that Garcelle, Sutton, and Erika will be very, very tight. Of course, Erika and Sutton will beef and bicker the way they do. I don't think that'll change. But I do think that the new trio will be Garcelle, Sutton, and Erika. I'm excited to see what Bozema brings. She seems to be like a boss, cool person. So I think she'll have a good, cool energy. I think the biggest beef will be between Kyle and Dorit. We'll see who wins that out. And then I also think Kyle, figuring out what her place in the group is, if any, going forward, given the fact that she has a history of wanting to meddle in everybody else's business, but not really being honest about what's going on in her own life. Also with Mauricio, I don't think Kyle actually wants to divorce Mauricio. I think she was going through something and then the entire situation escalated. Now he's dating, now he's doing that, but they're not divorced. Nobody's filed. I think watch that space. I still, in my gut, don't think that they'll get divorced. I just don't think that they will. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, but that's pretty much. I'm excited to see Kathy Hilton. She's great. I'm excited to see Jennifer Tilly. I think Camille Grammer might even make a cameo. So we'll see. We'll see. That'll be a lot of fun. Oh, and then there's another part that goes in a scene between Kyle and Mauricio. Kyle tells her estranged husband is too much all at once. Of course, he replies. Kyle also discusses her marriage with Sutton, who tells her, I think you need to file, like divorce. As for Dorit and PK's separation, she's seen asking a mystery man if he's married. Not this week, he explains. Me neither, Dorit replies as she lays his head on her shoulder. Dorit, girl, stop playing these reindeer games. PK's money is gone. Allegedly, they are allegedly going through financial problems, debt, uh, insurance scams. Who knows what the deal is? I don't know. I just see them beefing a lot. Speaking to Dorit directly, Dorit tells her spouse, we're talking like 5 times a day. And then PK says, I know, but we're not going to. Throughout the sneak peek, spats between co-stars are seen, including a moment between Garcelle and either Camille Grammer or Dorit. You've all been trying to get you to stop talking so that you can listen to us, Garcelle shares with the women. You're angry and you're not angry at me. You're angry at your life, Sutton later tells Dorit and Erika. You're volatile, Erika replies. At the end of the trailer, Kyle reaches her breaking point with the women during a spa day gone wrong. Look at all of us, our age, and what we're doing. Everybody honestly be ashamed of themselves. Seriously, she tells the cast. Girl, bye. Then, as she storms off, she declares, I'm done with this crap. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And then she continues to do it for the rest of the season. Girl, bye. So, yeah, I can't lie. I am excited. I am looking forward to the next season. I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the showdown between Dorit and Kyle. I think out of morality, I'm going to be team Kyle when it comes to her versus Dorit. But I think out of entertainment, I'll be team Dorit. We'll see what happens with everybody, but I'm looking forward to it. And as always, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Whose side are you on between Kyle and Dorit? What do you think is going to happen with Kyle and Mauricio and their marriage? Are they actually going to get divorced? Same question for PK and Dorit. Will they get divorced? PK was seen not wearing his wedding ring. Apparently, he's living at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Dorit does her thing. He does his thing, allegedly. What do we think is going to happen there? What's going to happen with Sutton and Garcelle and Erika and the new girl, Bozema? So we'll see all of those things interact. And I'm personally looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a very real, a very raw, and a very endearing season. And I think that's something that we've needed for a very long time. I think it's going to feel less scripted, less dark, and less toxic, even though they'll be talking about serious things. It's not going to be dark or toxic, I don't think, because it's going to be done in like a real way rather than a let's go for the jugular and do all the evil things we can do to other people. I think it's going to be a more of let's hold people accountable. Let's really talk about things and get things on the table. So as always, I want to know what you think. Put it down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Bye.